guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you couldn't tell by the title, I am talking about my first trimester, everything that goes along with the first trimester, symptoms that I've had, my must-haves, things that they don't tell you or things you don't find out until you're pregnant. I'm gonna tell it all. Some of it might be a little TMI, so if you don't like TMI videos, you're not pregnant, or you just don't want to hear about it, you don't have to watch it. And speaking of, if you don't want to watch this video, I just want to put the disclaimer out there now that if pregnancy content is triggering for you, or you struggle with infertility, or this is just a really sensitive subject for you, please feel free to click off this video, not watch it. If you need to unfollow me for a period of time, please do that. I will not be offended. I just wanted to put that out there because I know a lot of people struggle with that, and that's kind of something that hits close to home. I know family members who struggle with that and friends, so please, if this is offensive to you anyway, feel free not to watch it or skip any of my pregnancy content. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into the video. I'm gonna start from the beginning, from finding out I was pregnant, symptoms that I had, and kind of dive a little bit deeper into all of that, more than I did in my previous video. So when I took a pregnancy test, like I said before, it was just like the Lord telling me, like my grandparents, like in the back of my head, just like, girl, buy the test, just buy a test, just take it. So bought the test, took it, fully expecting it to be negative. It was like super faint positive, but it was there. I hadn't missed my period yet. Super early. I found it at like 3 weeks. So once I missed my period, I called my doctor and made an appointment, and they didn't see me until 8 weeks. So 8 weeks, I went in, got an ultrasound. We got to hear the heartbeat. The only sad part about it is my doctor's office now, Kyle can't come to the appointments with me, even if it's an ultrasound. I know that certain doctor's offices still let spouses or partners come whenever it's an ultrasound or a big appointment. My doctor's office is in the hospital and unfortunately won't allow him to come to appointments as of right now. They said that could change in the future, and he'll definitely be able to be there for the delivery, and in the end, that's really all that I care about. So that was kind of hard to deal with, just going in, having to experience all this for the first time by myself. I did get to FaceTime him, and he did get to be a part of it that way, so we're making it work. You know, gotta do what you gotta do for COVID during a pandemic. So I'm gonna get into symptoms that I had. In the beginning, I had no symptoms. When I took a pregnancy test, there was no reason for me to. People talk about in their 2-week wait how they have like sore boobs or cramping or some nausea, just certain things that are off to them to where they think they might be pregnant. And I really had nothing. I don't really have bad PMS symptoms in general, maybe a little bit of cramping. I get really bad headaches. I didn't start having symptoms probably until around 5 weeks, 6 weeks. At the end of 5 weeks into 6 weeks is when my nausea hit me like a truck. I was nauseous, I was exhausted, I had no appetite, I couldn't eat anything. Like one day I was fine, woke up the next day and it was just bad. And I know a lot of people say that like right at the 6-week mark or right at the 5-week mark, they feel terrible. So around then, that was kind of all that it was. I just didn't want to eat anything. I just wanted bland food. Like I was eating toast and yogurt. I don't even know, plain waffles, those little pasta sides. I know I talked about those before. They just heat up on the stove in some water. Like the blandest thing I could eat, I was eating it. I, however, did not like crackers. Like they dried out my mouth and gave me cotton mouth and made me even more nauseous. So crackers did not work for me. I had to do yogurt or toast or something like that just to settle my stomach a little bit in the morning. And it got to the point where I was just feeling so bad, wasn't able to do my normal work schedule like I had been doing. So I called my doctor and asked if there was something I could take for the nausea. I hadn't thrown up and haven't thrown up yet, knock on wood. So I didn't want to get on prescription medication, but I just wanted something that I could take to help curb my nausea a little bit. I was just right at that point, like before you get sick, like that feeling all the time. It was terrible. So I called my doctor and I got on Unisom and B6. They told me to take that, and if that didn't work, they could ultimately prescribe me something else. I started taking 25 milligrams of Unisom at night, the sleep tablets, and then I would take one 100 milligram B6 in the morning. And within like 3 days, I felt so much better. Always ask your doctor before you take anything. My doctor recommended this to me, told me it was safe. So I've been taking that up until now, and he told me that I can take it as long as I need to. And if I ever need anything else, don't suffer in silence. Don't hesitate to call them. Another kind of symptom I had was a heightened sense of smell. Not really super bad where I could smell everything, just on overdrive, but I would smell the weirdest things. Like our garbage disposal, I would smell from like halfway across the room. We had scented trash bags, and I could just smell the trash and the scented trash bags, and that made me nauseous. What was another weird thing? Oh, the weirdest thing was I could smell like the dishwasher residue on dishes. I don't know, it's like it's a weird smell. I don't know how to describe it. If I would take a drink of something and I could smell it, it would make me gag. And same way if I was eating off of a plate and I could smell it on the plate. Well, terrible. Gagging is another symptom that I've had randomly. Like, I don't even have to be feeling sick. Like, randomly I will just gag. If I smell something that's remotely strong, gag. Something I can think about it too hard makes me gag. Another thing, out of breath all the time. That doesn't just start in the later trimester, it starts in the beginning. Now I'm gonna jump into some of the things that are my first trimester must-haves, or things that really help me through the first trimester. Some of these are my opinion. You probably don't need to use these, or might not need to use these if you don't have certain symptoms. Some of these things were recommended to me, or I asked recommendations from people, and this is what I got. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is prenatal vitamins, and I've been taking the gummies ever since the beginning. I really like these. They were really easy to take, especially when I wasn't feeling great and I would swallow pills, and sometimes that would make me, you know, gag a little bit. So anything that remotely didn't make me gag, I could take. And my doctor told me I'm okay to take these because my iron levels are still good. These don't have a fishy taste or give you like fishy burps like some prenatal vitamins or prenatal gummies, and I really like them. My second thing that helped me in the beginning was these Preggie Pop drops, and I know everybody talks about these. I was like, I don't think these are gonna help me that much. You don't think you want anything sour in the first trimester, but when you're feeling sick, you know, these really help me. Not like completely get rid of my nausea, but if I was like sitting at my desk or just sitting there and I had cotton mouth, or like I was just really nauseous, these would kind of help take the edge off. I don't know why, I don't know how they work, but they really help me. The next thing I recommend is a belly butter. I tried the Burt's Bees Mama Bee belly butter, and I love it so far. It doesn't really have a strong scent. And that was something big for me because strong lotion scents and soap scents in the beginning made me a little bit nauseous if I like smelled them and smelled them and smelled them. This isn't, it's like a thicker cream. I've used a lot of it, as you can see. I rub it on my belly, my boobs, my legs, my butt, anywhere you could get stretch marks. I know stretch marks are mostly genetic, but on dry, itchy skin, just keeping it hydrated and moisturized can help a lot and help you feel just more comfortable. The next thing I want to talk about is these nausea seasickness bands, and these really worked for me. I didn't think that they would work, and maybe it's all in my head, but I really like these. And again, it was one of those things that didn't completely take the nausea away. It just kind of knocked it off a little bit, made it a little bit more manageable. And especially in the car, I wore these. I struggled with car sickness before I was pregnant. They're hit or miss. Some people say they work for them. Some people say that they don't. But they were only $5 on Amazon. Might as well give it a shot, because when you're feeling nauseous, you just want something to make you feel better. Next on my list, my pants are currently undone because I'm not wearing this because I cannot fit into any of my jeans anymore or any of my pants, but is a pants expander. Even from the beginning when you're really bloated, like right now I'm still a little bit bloated, but my belly is starting to poke out a little bit more. This is so helpful. It just hooks in to the button of your pants. But if you don't want to buy one of these, just use a trusty old hair tie, loop it through where your button would normally go, and then tighten it into like a little knot and wrap it around your button. And it works just the same if you don't want to buy a pants expander. Another thing that I recommend if you're struggling with your pants not fitting and you're kind of in that awkward stage where you just look like you ate too much, people don't know you're pregnant yet, but you're too small for maternity jeans. And that's where I'm at right now. My next thing is another thing that's optional. Some people might not like these, but this was something I really wanted to do. And it is a pregnancy journal. I have two of them. I have this one and I have this one. And I'll talk about kind of the differences between both of them and why I like both of them for different reasons. This one I bought for myself, and it's more of a journaling book. It has more places to write and less places for pictures. And this one has a little thing in the front. You can have your family write on it, whether they think it's a boy or a girl, before you find out the gender. Well, there's a whole place in the back for like your birth story for the future. So I really like this one because I like to journal and I like to write. But if you're more of a picture person, more of a visual person, I would recommend one like this. And my friend Victoria gifted this to me and I absolutely love it. And on the inside, it has a ton of places for pictures. Like I put all the sonogram pictures in here, or a lot of them that I have. Some of these I haven't filled out yet because I haven't taken Polaroids of some of them. But it has little places to write too, just not as much. And it has little places you can put pictures and write for week by week. And I really like it because it's more picture based, less writing. Another thing that's more of my opinion, that's a must have for me if you want to document it. Last thing on my must have list is this eye pillow, eye mask, whatever you want to call it. But it is a little eye mask. This was gifted to me by my sister-in-law. Like I said, I used to suffer from headaches, like PMS symptoms, and now I struggle with headaches in pregnancy. That didn't start happening probably until around week 11, 10 or so for me, but I know some people have them really bad from the beginning. And with pregnancy, there's not a lot of options you can take as far as headache medicine besides Tylenol really. So this has been super helpful. You can heat it up in the microwave, or if you like cold therapy, you can put it in the fridge or the freezer and then stick it on your head, over your eyes or on your forehead. You could even stick it on the back of your neck. It helps to relieve like those tension headaches or those cluster headaches that you can get in the beginning if Tylenol is just not touching it. So the last part of this video, I want to touch on things that they don't tell you or things you might not know if you've never been pregnant before. These things, a lot of them I found out on my own and I never knew. So I just want to kind of give you a heads up because some weird stuff happens that you wouldn't think about. So one of the first things that I noticed was obviously my hair growing. They say when you're taking prenatals, your hair grows, your nails grow, you get glowing skin, but they don't tell you. They're not just the hair on your head grows, your hair everywhere, your armpits, your legs, everything grows twice as fast. So be prepared to shave twice as much. That's what happened to me anyways. So a little frustrating, but everything is just growing, okay? Belly's growing, hair's growing, everything's growing. So that was something that I really didn't know, really didn't expect until it happened to me. Another thing in just kind of the personal department is body odor. I did not know that once all your hormones were, you know, doing crazy things in there, growing a baby, that you have way more BO, way more body odor. I did not know that. And you sweat. You sweat a lot more. I was not the type of person before to have a lot of body odor or really stink, you know, unless I was like working out really hard or like outside in the sun, sweating all day. you know, situations where you get a little stinky. But no, just normal doing stuff around the house. I'd be sweating like crazy and, you know, not smelling the greatest. So if you're a person and you didn't normally notice that you smelled before and you smell now, probably just your hormones. I don't know. Another thing was dry skin. My skin, I struggled with dry skin and eczema before, but now I just feel like it's so much more dry. My lips are dry, my face is dry and crusty half the time. Just my skin is dry, my belly's itchy, it's growing. So if you're super extra dry and itchy and not really glowing yet, it's okay. It's okay. You are not alone. That happened to me. Another thing I noticed in the beginning, this kind of goes along with symptoms, I guess, is weird dreams. I still, to this day, have weird dreams, and that was kind of another inclination that I didn't notice until like after I thought back on it a little bit. Was in the beginning I had weird dreams, and I thought it was just from being stressed out. Like, obviously my grandparents passed away, COVID going through my whole family, moving into a new house. I just thought, you know, I'm stressed, having weird dreams, having stressful dreams, didn't think much of it. And then they just kept getting weirder. And they're really vivid, they feel really real. So if you have weird, vivid dreams, that's also something that happens. Probably related to hormones. I'm not exactly sure why. Thirst was another one. I was really thirsty. I'm still really thirsty all the time. Water, and when I didn't want water in the beginning, I wanted like lemonade or iced tea, or I would put little flavoring drink packets into my water in the beginning, because plain water sometimes was just didn't want to drink it. Another thing that could go along with symptoms is like food aversions. I didn't really have a ton. Raw chicken was a big thing for me. I still have some trouble with raw chicken. I gotta wear gloves and like not think about it too much when I'm cutting it up. But meat and raw chicken in the beginning, if I looked at it or I had to prepare it, like I couldn't eat it because it just grossed me out. But other than that, I really wasn't averted against a lot of things. I just had no appetite for literally anything except for like bread and plain anything. And another thing that I experienced in the beginning was a lot of people talk about postpartum depression, but a lot of people don't talk about pregnancy depression. And a lot of times it happens with people in the first trimester or people who are super sick, have HG, and you just get depressed during your pregnancy. You just don't feel like yourself, you're tired, you have no energy, you don't want to do anything. And that happened to me for that little like 4-week month stint right in the beginning. I just was so sick all the time, wasn't eating anything, didn't want to eat anything, was so sad, just didn't feel like myself. And it was kind of like a really sad time. And I kind of reached out to some of my friends who were pregnant, like I said, around the same time as me. And I was like, hey, did you ever feel like this? Were you ever really sad? And almost all of them said that they had experienced something like that. And if it didn't get better, I was obviously going to talk to my doctor. But once I started feeling better, those symptoms kind of went away. But that is definitely normal if you feel that way in your pregnancy, because your hormones are all over the place. This is so new. You're sick all the time, can't do stuff that you normally do, can't eat what you normally eat. So it's just a big change, and like, it happens. Pregnancy depression or feeling really sad in the beginning was something that I experienced. I'm glad it got better. If you're struggling with that, you're not alone. If it doesn't get better or you are constantly feeling depressed or not like yourself, reach out to your doctor. Again, kind of like with the nausea, don't suffer in silence about it, because we're going through a big change. I mean, pregnancy is a big change all over. I think to end off this video, I'm going to show you guys a little shot of the belly. I'm 13 weeks and 4 days. I turn a new week every Tuesday, and this week baby is the size of a lemon. I'm going to show you guys what I look like. I might be a little bit bloated from Chick-fil-A today, but this is what we're working with. My belly has always kind of shown a little bit higher. I did start getting a little bit rounder here, but in the last week, I feel like I've just kind of poked out a little bit. This is the front. But yeah, so we will see what I look like at the end of my second trimester recap. You know, just showing my belly to the world. But this video was probably super long-winded, but I just wanted to give you guys the down low, everything that I've been experiencing over the last few months, and you know, stuff they don't tell you, stuff you can expect, stuff that I really liked. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoy videos like this. If you want to keep seeing pregnancy updates, please like this video, comment down below. Let me know what else you guys would like to see. I have some more cooking videos coming up that I'm really excited for. As always, I post more live updates. I post a lot on my social media. I try to be pretty active on my stories, ask you guys a lot of questions, what you guys want to see. So I will leave that link down below for you guys, as well as my blog page. I'll leave that link down below. I have some blog ideas that I really need to get rolling on. So hopefully those will be posted in the next few weeks. But other than that, I think that is all that I have for today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.